Alright, hi everyone, welcome back again, folks, on YouTube to my YouTube channel, The Niche's Music, and today I'm gonna be doing the second series, another series on my CD collection on YouTube. Everybody has been recommending me to do this. I cannot wait, and for some reason, for a specific reason, I had to just complete maybe a half of my CD collection first, and after that I'm gonna do a CD collection next, CD collection series next to my second part of video. So here it is. Here's the moment, guys. So yeah, let's just start it from the top. Hurry up tomorrow by the weekend. I got this one on sale for the collector's edition. So that's why I am really grateful that I have this one in my collection, because this is kind of like an album that you could only find once in a store. You could only find once in the internet just because of how rare it actually is. Yeah, this is the collector's edition. I'm really glad that I got this one alongside with this um card right here. Yeah, this promotion card of Hurry Up Tomorrow. This is a collector's edition, so I got the collector's cards in it too. Yeah, it feels very, very invigorating, and grateful to just have this collector's edition CD. Yeah, really glad to have this one in my collection. So this is the first CD. Second one is Kanye West with Jesus. Very mesmerizing and undoubtedly one of the best experimental hip hop album I've ever heard in my whole entire life, because this was the first of Kanye's career. The first, the primary thing that Kanye um, did to his own album by combining and incorporating lots of different elements of electronic. Some of it has some contemporary R&B sample, soul sample, very dark, moody tune. And fun fact, this was my first ever Kanye album. This was the first ever Kanye album that I've ever listened to because of Daft Punk. Daft Punk really introduced and got me into listening to Kanye West, because Kanye West sampled their song "Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger" onto his song on Graduation called "Stronger." I deep dive. I researched it online, what could like possible tracks that Daft Punk ever produced, or maybe like was there any collaboration happening between Daft Punk and Kanye West, because I saw them in a music video of Kanye to for Stronger. So I had to do research online, and I found out that they actually produced this whole entirety. Maybe like some of the tracks on this album, maybe like a half of the tracks on this album. That was so mesmerizing and very pleasant to the ears to listen to Daft Punk produced other people's records, because I'm a really big fan, a hardcore fan of Daft Punk. It really got me into listening to Yeezus for the first time. This was an easy listening experience, in my opinion, for the first ever sort of like, I don't even know like what is Kanye actually doing. Maybe like standard hip hop or anything like that. But as I heard that this album right here had electronic stuff to it, I had to give it a listen. I had to give it a whirl on it, and it was an easy listening experience to me, because it's kind of like rather a usual stuff that I did back then when I was not really kind of like a fan. I really forgot the existence of Daft Punk. I really got into some more hardcore, extreme, like several people only know about this, but I got into some more extreme sounding music. So this was kind of like an easy first time experience. But if you are not really kind of a fan of electronic music, I would not really recommend you to listen to this album as the first Kanye album that you could ever listen to. So yeah, it was very enjoyable listening experience. Third CD I got Kanye West Donda, very standard looking minimalistic CD. Not as Kanye West uses. It's very revolutionary. This one is just like a complete darkness. You could ever see this album when you close your eyes, you see Donda. That's it. All Donda reference. Fourth, Tupac greatest hits. I thought this compilation could be an album and a compilation at the same time, because of its conceptuality and poetic lyrics of Tupac that seems very seamless throughout the whole entire album. It's just like a Kendrick Lamar, but from the 90s. If he was still alive right now, I think he will be very proud of Kendrick Lamar influence, especially on the West Coast hip hop. He's really in the West Coast hip hop. I really love West Coast hip hop music overall. Yeah, really greatest hits. Might probably be one of the best greatest hits album of all time. The fifth, I got Nothing But the Beat 2.0 by David Guetta. Very mediocre album overall, but it does still have some standards and highlights on it to like the electronic part of the album. It's very good. Um, I kind of have the egg, maybe just like the Dutch, the listening experience to add this whole entire album because I used to hate Guetta back then. I also had this CD copy when I was like about 5 to 6 years old. I don't really quite remember. I had the Ultimate Edition, so electronic album is a lot more complete on that part, on that edition of the album. I do like electronic album, the electronic part of the whole album a lot more than the vocal album because there's some corny stuffs on pretty much basically the majority of the songs right in here, but there's some iconic ones like Titanium, Turn Me On is still iconic, She Wolf, Without You, um, One Last Time. Only those tracks I think. Or What One Two. I absolutely love that track too. So yeah, just like the excess amount of tracks right in there, not really kind of like my favorite overall. It's not bad, but it's not actually that good too, in my opinion. So it's just meh in my opinion. Sixth, that most random album title. This was a bootleg version of the original CD because I can barely find a worth price of an album that I love. It's all expensive. I have to sacrifice like a little amount of my money to just buy the bootleg version of some records that I truly admire and love. Just like this album right here. So yeah, it's not a really kind of like compromising in my opinion. It's not a really kind of like okay to me sometimes to buy bootleg versions because I don't have like the original, but it's still the most important thing of having a physical collection is the audio itself, the listening experience of it. Does it sound good? Does it sound wacky or anything like that? Just as your preference. Seventh, JT, the 2020 Experience. This is my second favorite from Justin Timberlake. Really good album. The CD is being shaped like a vinyl. If it was for a vinyl, I think the vinyl would probably look exactly like this, just as when Kanye did on Jesus on the album cover, and also Jesus is King as well. So yeah. Eighth CD is possibly the greatest trap album and the most influential trap album of all time. Very psychedelic and eclectic throughout the whole entire album. It's bangers after bangers. Really do admire this album and never getting sick and tired and bored listening to this album again and again repetitively. Nine is Maxwell's Urban Hangsuit. This is one of the more underappreciated R&B album in my opinion. Everybody forgets about Maxwell's existence and influence on the R&B smooth soul funk era in the 90s. This is his prime era back then. I believe that this was actually his debut album and it already sounded this good. Um, yeah, all this from this whole album is just like totally memorable. Some of it is just like a straight up late night moody instrumentals. You have to listen to this album if you're really into R&B and hip hop. This run right here is just like a very suitable record to listen to. 10th album, I got Prodigy, The Fat of the Land, one of the best electronic album of all time, and could possibly one of the best I've ever had on a physical media just because of its really cool design of booklet. Nah, I'm not gonna show you. All right, I'm gonna show you next on if I have a chance to do a CD unboxing to this album right here. Prodigy, The Fat of the Land. 11 CD, I got My Chemical Romance with the Black Parade. This is also a bootleg as well as the one that I've already showed you, which is the random album title. So far there are two of my bootleg albums that I've showed you. One of the best rock album of all time, even better than that Night at the Opera album by Queen, because it has a same genre of music, which got, you know, catapulted into some more modern style in this album right here. Some emo pop mixed with opera rock and also alternative rock that I really truly admire. Every single track is a banger. Vocals of Gerard Way is very powerful, that you can really handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very powerful. Really indeed powerful. So yeah, that's for the 11th album that I have. I guess this 12th CD is Gorillaz with Demon Days. I know that this series right here is gonna take a while, very, very long duration of videos, possibly my longest video on YouTube, but it's okay. It's for sake of fun and enjoyability that I can show you guys my collections of CDs instead. Gorillaz Demon Days, y'all know that Gorillaz is totally goated, especially when it comes to CD design, vinyl design. I know that their most recent album is very, very good. I've seen lots of content creators and CD unboxer ASMR doing a CD unboxing over their new album, and it looks meticulous, very properly well made, and exquisite overall. Like, how could you even imagine Gorillaz is not really cool? Like, how can anybody say Gorillaz is not cool? They're very cool. They have an aura, man. Like, all of them has their own aura, like that. So yeah, 13 CDs. This is actually a bootleg as well. Eminem, The Marshall Mathers LP2. Um, got this one right here because I think this is probably uh one of his best, or possibly his best on the 2010s era when it comes to releasing a good album, because Eminem could never be uh, as good as he was in the 90s, in the late 90s to the early of the 2000s, especially on the Marshall Mathers LP and the Eminem Show. Very good and triumphant and consistent tracks overall on one album. So I feel like this is one of them, and the best from the 2010s era for sure. 14 CDs we have College Dropout by Kanye West. This is my favorite Kanye album to date. Very good and soulful album as well. Um, I'm really glad that I got this one um for possibly a cheaper edition of the whole album. This is the pink version of it with the brownie and yellowish logo of the distinctive bear, the casual bear that Kanye West wears all the time, inspired by Takashi Murakami, I believe. Yeah, that's the name of the, I think, designer. I don't know, of Graduation and a New Juice World album. 15 CDs I have Igor. Um, yeah, this is her. Sorry, his best. Sorry, man, I just mispronounced him. Refer to. Alright, whatever, just forget about what just happened. All songs written, produced, and arranged by Tyler Akanma, just the same as his other records. Um, he's not ashamed to put out his name, um, on maybe under or at the bottom of his majority of designs on CDs and also vinyls. All songs written, produced, and arranged by Tyler Akanma. That's a very, very good thing to do, as you are the rapper, you are the composer too, you're the producer, you're the engineer. You wrote that, you arranged that. All of that needs to be credited, just like this guy right here. He's done basically all things that a producers and also the singers, musicians need to have the credits on their own album. So mad respect to Tyler, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you are already a producer, a singer, composer, songwriter, anything like that, just list it at the bottom of, if it has some space, if it has some space for your text, just leave it at the bottom of your album cover, or maybe at the back, just like what this guy has already done. This guy is very highly influential and a lot of fun too. In the 16th order CDs, I have Kevin Harris 18 Months. Not probably the best electronic album of all time in my opinion. This album right here, as I progressively listen to it, it doesn't grow on me. It has some bangers on it, but like some of the bangers that I used to like are just like now cornballs in my ears. Um, very overrated and underrated at the same time, though. I think still Calvin Harris is very suitable. Even I created disco is better than this whole album overall. Even that album really defined Electric Clash, some of the more eclectic styles of synth funk, anything like that. He did it again on the Funk Waff Bounces Volume 1. He incorporated funk with like summary vibe of synth funk. There's no electric clash on it, something that you will probably get to dance pop. I think that's the exact term of Calvin Harris as an overall musician, not really kind of like more in depth of electronic dance music that's supposed to make you dance in a dance floor, not dance in the summer, dance um in a club full of 70s style, 70, 80s style. That's what I like about Calvin Harris. It's just like his distinctive synth funk style. But I don't know what about this album though. There's some kind of like cuts or maybe deep cut to this album, just like an interlude, a short interlude called School. It's a very great and excellent synth funk song in the early 2000s, 2010s, I mean, that might suit him a lot. I wish that he could just like drop um front to back a synth funk album. Not rather to listen to this one though, but it is what it is. It's okay in my opinion. Muse Origin of Symmetry, one of the best progressive art rock album in my opinion, besides Radiohead. I heard that there was a supposed allegation that Muse copied the style of Radiohead. I could totally hear that. I could totally um differentiate between both of them, but they both have some similarities together, even though Muse's vocals a lot more emotional and very dramatic, but not too over exaggerated. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole album right here is just like pure masterpiece, pure bliss, just like the second song from the whole album. So that's a 17th CD. 18th, I got the Ladies and Gentlemen, Best of George Michael. This is probably one of the heaviest CD I've ever had in my collection because it's a Fat Boy jewel case. It's looking like this. Got broken. Got two booklet. Very two good thick booklets on it. Not really my favorite greatest hits album of all time. It's not really kind of appealing in my opinion, but it has some bangers after bangers throughout this whole entire album that I would kindly appreciate for George Michael to do that. After the 18 CD, sorry, we got a 19 CD, got that mouse 4 times 4 equals 12. One of the best from that mouse, but not really kind of like my favorite. I'm really more into a random album title or more experimental project from this guy, from Joe Zimmerman, especially Well Wellness and Two. That's my favorite out of all the Deadmau5 record exist. Random album title is good. In my opinion, for lack of better name, is even better than this. And also don't forget the extensions of album title goes here, even better than this album right here. This is not his worst project, but really one of his most underrated but overrated at the same time. Some songs are on here are just like straight up boring liminal ass songs, but I still really do appreciate this whole how this whole entire album proceeds to sound like overall. This is a bootleg too, as you can see from the CD quality. Look at that, it's very blurry, and at the back it's just like a bunch of merch that mouse um was selling at the time he released this whole album in his own website, his own store that you could find right now. So yeah, 20 CD. I have Skrillex Recess, really great dubstep album, dubstep bro step, and this is actually a poster. So these are just like all basically looking the same. Not really my favorite, or this is possibly one of the worst physical media I've ever gotten, because on how it proceeds to look the same as a poster, and also the CD too. So it's not as interesting as the one that he's been releasing it right now, like the Quest for Fire album, or FU Skrillex. You think you're not Andy Warhol. I've seen that a lot on my on YouTube videos, unboxing and talking about, insinuating about the physical release that went hard, that is looking very good. Not like this album though. Not really into me as an overall physical media, but the tracks are good. The whole album is fire in my opinion. The most underrated, I think, is Fire Away. Yeah, Skrillex is indeed one of the best EDM musician, or maybe electronic musician, in my top five. Jay-Z, the 21st CD, Blueprint. My favorite from Jay-Z, possibly his best album until right now. Look at it inside. This is the CD. Here's the back. There it is. After that, I get this 22nd CDs. So there's 22 CDs of mine. Linkin Park Hybrid Theory. Very great album from start to finish. In my opinion, this album is really one of the best hard hitting, bumpy, most extreme, not really kind of extreme in my opinion, rock album in the 2000s. Very iconic, and one of the most recognizable album of all time in terms of rock genre, or maybe like in a secular music genre of the 2000s. So yeah, it's a very good album. 10 out of 10 in my opinion. The 22nd CD, I got the 23rd CD. This is not actually in a consecutive order, whether I want to classify it as electronic, R&B, anything like that. I don't care. I just have to do an unboxing. There's a little crack over there. I just have to do a CD collection right here without any consecutive order. So this is just like all super random order. Weekend After Hours, very great album. Nocturnal, it really suits up the the late night moody type of thing. If you wanna be desperate, if you wanna be lonely, you have to listen to this whole entire album. Or maybe if you're in a cyberpunk city, of course you need to listen to this album because of how futuristic and kind of like nostalgic at the same time, simultaneously, on the progression of this whole album. So yeah, it's very recommend. It's very recommended to listen to. 24 CDs I have Neo. I'm not gonna be talking too much though, because there's still some CDs that I need to show you guys without any editing at all. It's just like basically all the CDs. Um, because it's very relentless and deliberate. If I just leave it this way right here, doing part for part of my CD collection, I'm just gonna do it really quickly and fast, but not really too hurried, not really too in haste. I'm gonna stop talking at this point. Neo, Year of the Gentleman, really good album overall. In fact, I was socially awkward. I am actually until this point. Kanye West, Graduation, most polarizing hip hop album in my opinion. This is the CD, very pristine looking CD. This is the poster of it. Yeah, I can actually make you see the poster real quick, just like really quick. Whoop. So here it is. I'm gonna see the full version of it in the back. So all credits of Kanye West Graduation. Kind of difficult for me to hold the camera at the same time I'm holding this booklet too. So yeah, there are no lyrics, just credits and also samples that he used for this whole entirety of album. Here's the back of it. So yeah, that's my 25th CD, Kanye West Late Registration, one of his best too, and possibly this is one of my favorite physical media copy I've ever had in my collection. Really grateful to have this one. I also have the poster, but I forgot where I put the poster. Must be somewhere. And also, the booklet is was sticked onto the surface of the um, gatefold CD like this. This is very interesting, and you got this kind of like visible glossy kind of like stickers being printed out to the booklet. It's very very good overall. It's kind of like a sticker. I'm actually kind of like looking at a sticker right here. This is very very transparent and looking poignant at the same time. Very good. It's not a very disappointing album overall. I like this type of CD instead of regular jewel case because you get the perfect preferences with all of the elements of single CDs being like congregated all together inside of the CD like this. You just have to really had the budget, half the budget, to get this type of CD. It's kind of rare. So yeah, 26 CD right in there. This is the 27th CD, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, by one other than Mr. Kanye West. Any other than Mr. Kanye West, the genius, the booklet ripoff like that because I just genuinely want to stick the booklet to the wall. I really do um he- regret on doing this. It's like me having this booklet right here hostage. You can sacrifice yourself to be put onto the wall as an additional thing, as an optional thing actually. So yeah, it's kind of very very sad that I got this booklet open like this. It's just like really ripped off like that. But in terms of CD condition, this is actually pretty good. I can still turn it on. Having like slight scratches on it, but can gradually decrease as much as I want to protect, or as much as um the amount of protection that I have to get through for the CDs that I have. So yeah, I need to be aware. Close this one because I don't want the other one to get exposed. So yeah, there it is. 28 CDs right in there. I got a new CDs on here. 29, I got Porter Robinson Nurture. Kind of a rare album in my opinion. Actually, look at that. This is actually a bootleg of the original version of the album. But the most important thing, y'all know, the most important thing is the audio, is the whole album. So this is some bunch of this is just like the quotes, some thank yous, representing his own belief to people. He wanted to say thank you and a big gratitude to people who has understood him in his life. Really respect that. And this album really got me into um, wanting to go outside and just like take a walk while listening to this album on a mini MP3, not MP3, but a CD player like a Walkman. Like I really want to give a shout out to the world outside when listening to this whole album overall. Like it really inspired me to go outside, really to touch some grass. Just like the whole album experience too, and also the album cover, it really depicts the same thing as I'm feeling on the whole project. So yeah, the 29 CDs, I believe, is it? I'm sorry, this is actually the 28th order. This is 27, 26th. All of that comes into the Skrillex Recess, which is actually at number 20. So yeah, this is the 28th CDs that I have. Of course, a very good album and possibly one of the best I've ever had on CD for sure, even though it's a bootleg. Gotta put special place right in front of my speaker. I still got this time. Is it called Time? Wait, I forgot. Yeah, Time by Mr. Kitty. I got this one because there's one track that everybody at once has ever heard in their whole entire life, which is After Dark. Went trending in 2022 to 2023 on social media, especially on TikTok. Very good, consistent synth pop 80s to 90s vibe throughout, very futuristic and suitable to listen to when you're in a cyberpunk or in a light or having a nightlife. Very good album overall. I got this one simultaneously as the Porter Robinson. At the same time, I purchased this, and also I purchased the two other CDs that I'm gonna um show you guys. So yeah, put it on the same place as Porter Robinson Nurture because I'm gonna listen to that next. I got very good album too though. I got this um Clams Casino. This is a compilation of his own beats that he produced for most of the rappers, and he combined it as an overall solo project, solo compilation, and it got a very well critic critics scores and having not having a backlash, but having lots of more people getting into his music, and also the rappers that he gave his beat on, like ASAP Rocky or Lil B, main Atracheons, I believe, one of the collaborators of ASAP Rocky and Leave, one of the tracks on this album that is very essential. At the back of it, it's looking like that. You know, this is a bootleg too, right? This is another bootleg CD again. So yeah, gotta put the same place as two of them. Alright, after the 30 CD, I have Deadmau5 while one less than two. Alright, while one less than two. This is, as I've said earlier, this is my favorite Deadmau5 album until right now. Very consistent. Sort of very experimental, down tempo with glitch, more of a glitch electronic stuff in this album too. Um, as much as I want to compare it with Mr. Katie Time, I think this album right here has a little amount of cyberpunky nightlife type of experience, but it's still a very good album. 10 out of 10 for both of the part. Yeah. 30-second CD, Median Adventure, alongside long-term friendship. Having a long-term friendship with Porter Robinson, you all know about that. If you're a fan of electronic music, you have to know about that. That Porter Robinson is actually until right now the point of his own life, a friends and a very close friends with Median. So it's not acquaintances. They rediscover themselves as families, even though they're currently in different country, different state, different place, and also birthplace too. So yeah, 32nd CD. 33rd CD. 33 is Michael Jackson Bad. One of my favorite from Michael Jackson for sure. So got this Daft Punk Homework album. Very influential in the French house genre for sure, for sure. One of the this album right here brings a very tremendous impact and also popularity surrounded the French house music, especially now French house is considered as an intelligible culture for France from UNESCO. In fact, it's all inspired and come into one name, Daft Punk. So this was their first album and already topped onto Billboard, surrounding all the world. There are people crazy about this album. And I'm too crazy about this album too because of how good this actually sounds like from start to finish. That much for lack of a better name. Another bootleg CD that I have. Very great choice. Um, Very good album overall because I think like um, so these tracks right here is just like very suitable to be mixed. That unconsciously transitions to stroke because this is a continuous album. I bought this one in a continuous version, as you can see right in there. It's a bootleg. I love bootleg collections too because it's really free for me and more suitable, more openly cheap because I have a little amount of money. I'm kind of impecunious person, but I do have money. Um, so yeah, that's it. 30, 30. So this is my 35th CD. 36, I have Michael Jackson's 40th anniversary of Thriller. So I only have this one, not with the glitter version. This is just like a regular gray version of 40th anniversary of Thriller. This is a very cheap. I did not expect how cheap this album actually could be, because otherwise, this is actually very easy to be found, but rare at the same time too. And I'm really astonished because of how cheap that it actually is, considering the booklet is very thick. So that's why I'm really astonished, grateful to get this copy of the album right here on my hand right now, even though it's very cheap. um very very cheap album, in my opinion, one of the cheapest CD I could ever purchase. And it's really worth to buy for sure, because it has two CDs on it and a thick booklet. So yeah, 37 CDs. After the 36 order, got Daft Punk with Discovery, my favorite from Daft Punk for sure. It actually came out with, this is actually an imported version, the Japanese imported version of the whole album. That it came along with this um Japanese booklet version. I don't understand Japanese at all, so it's just like basically telling. I guess it's basically telling about the history of Daft Punk, and also some lyrics of the songs from each of the songs from the album. So yeah, it's actually pretty cool. A big, really big injury to the CD. Like, am I considering CD as a human at this point? Hell no, man. Like, I'm very sad that I get this Daft Punk human after all broken like this, man. Like, really sad. I just have to. Will I? Will I buy a new case for this whole album? I guess you're right. I have to buy it, but I just have to give my money, sacrifice for my money. But the CD is really looking cool. It's kind of like a transparent CD. You just don't see anything when you don't give a sort of like a light rate to it. But if you give a little light to it, you can see the Daft Punk logo, some of the credits, track list, and also the music publisher, the CD distribution, the record label of the whole album. But yeah, very good stuff right in there. Daft Punk Alive 2007. I'm kind of tired, but it's actually okay. It's for the sake of the whole video for sure. Alive 2007. It's gonna be an hour, I guess. What is this? Oh, got this one stacked up with another CD. So fresh. Gonna show that later. So this is the original CD. That's why kind of odd for me to see Live 2007 having that amount of scratches on it. Um, yeah, whole album is good. One of the best, or possibly the best live album of all time, besides the Fishman's 1998 legendary live album. Rest in peace to the guy, the frontman of Fishman. So this is it. I also get the sort of like a Mexico posters right in there of this is it. And here it is. This is the original album. Not an album, but more of a compilation. Um, got the Blu-ray promotion. So this is the first CD, and this is the second CD. Real glad that I got this one in my collection, because there are two additional tracks, and I have a chance to hear some unreleased stuffs on Michael Jackson's era back then, like some acapella, instrumental, demo, anything like that on the second disc. I really do like every single one of the unreleased stuffs on this one to four. Very good stuff right in there. The Weekend on FM, really good synth pop album overall. Um, and it really fulfills your nighttime too. Nighttime, late night driving, whatever you want to do at night. This album is just like literally the perfect album that you can probably listen to. It will suit your mood right to it. Just like when I say after hours. So yeah, it's a broken case. Starboy. Oh yeah, I forgot to say like which order I've just like wanted to say. So yeah, the discovery is at the 37 order, I believe. 37 order, 38 for human after, 39 for life. This is it for number 40. This one is 41, and this one is 42. 42 part, 42 CDs. 42 CDs. So the track list, this album right here, I might consider this one as being too appreciated by people, that it's kind of overrated. And yeah, the design is actually pretty good. The booklet is thick with fulfilling lots of pictures right in there. 43, you got the 10th anniversary of the Random Access Memory album by Daft Punk, including 9 unreleased outtakes, with 2 times CD. This is really one of the more overrated CD case I've had in a while, because like the booklet is being put um, together to the first CD, and then the second CD is just like, I don't know where it appears on the right side, so it's just like basically being compacted together. I think it could be better if you do the same thing as Kanye late registration. You just gotta have the budget to it. Let me show you the example real quick. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I just got it. So he's gonna have to make the booklet stick onto this, or maybe just like there's a cover, and here there's a picture cover, the hardcover picture. You're just gonna have the sleeve inside of this to put your booklet inside, and this is your CD, the first CD, and this is the second CD. It's better to do that, because yeah, that's why I consider this one as overrated, just because of that reason. So yeah, 43rd, 43, 44, The Prodigy again, music for the jilted generation. Um, Lots of good stuff in this album too. My second favorite from The Prodigy for sure. 44, another one. 45, Prince Forever. This is Prince's greatest hits after his death. This is dedicated to him. Really glad to have this album with his rivals, which is Michael Jackson. A lot more dominant Michael Jackson fan. Um, as of a Michael Jackson fan, I think Prince is actually good in my opinion. But I got a lot more dominant CD from Michael Jackson instead of Prince. So yeah. So Random Access Memories. This one's a lot better on the cover, and also the design too. It's a lot better than the this Digipack box set version of the 10th anniversary edition. It's hardcover, so kind of rips off the papers, and they're just like that, exposing the paper inside, exposing the white paper. So this one's a lot better for sure. It's only like the edges that matter, but like it's okay in my opinion. The whole album is very good too. So yeah. 47th Order of my CD, Undertale soundtrack. Um, One of the best soundtrack of all time for sure. This has 2 CDs, and it's a bootleg too. I got my name tagged in there, so that's why kind of white. Yeah, the track list is actually in this area right here, as you can see. Those are just like the amount of track they had. Possibly about 103 track list with a duration over 2 hours, more than 2 hours anyway. So yeah, this is one of the best. You should listen to it. You should give your time to listen to this album too. And yeah, 48th, Nirvana Nevermind. I'm just gonna do it super quick because the timer has left. It's already been 44 minutes since I've done this. About exactly almost about less than an hour ago, almost about an hour ago. Nirvana Nevermind. So yeah, very good looking CD right in there. This is probably one of my favorite design of CD. I've ever had in my collection for sure. But there's a giant crack in there, man. It's very embarrassing to see that as a CD collector. 49 CDs. I have Nirvana in Utero. Uh, Very obnoxious looking CD right in there. 49. 50. Good Kid Mad City by Kendrick Lamar. Really do. I'm really glad having this record in my collection right now because this has the second disc. Second disc is crazy, bro. Like really, it literally has the same consistency and goodness as the first disc. Considering how this album has a very tremendous and vast impact to the rap music, especially for the West Coast hip hop. At this point, right here, this is one of the most respectable rappers out in all the games. So 50 for that. Yeah, 50. 51. GNX. Another Kendrick Lamar album. I think this one's kind of overrated in my opinion, but there's some tracks that I mostly admire too. The CD's looking very minimalistic, just like the Them album. The one that got a lot more potential and it is just like the second disc of it. And also, don't forget the existence of To Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah, the album designs on the CD is looking very precious because it has braille on it, so that everybody can literally like people who are blind, they just have to they've been given an album by Kendrick Lamar. They can read it, they can probably touch it, feel it, so that they can get the meanings. You know what I'm saying? It's a very important things for Kendrick Lamar to do such a thing like that. 52, I got Channel Orange by Frank Ocean. I decided I want to buy Blonde, but Channel Orange, you cannot miss this album, man. You got like every single track from this album is a banger in my opinion. All right. 16% though. Oh my gosh. All right. So here's a CD right here. It's a very transparent CD. Just like Jesus, but it has a lot more potential to it. Um, yeah. More hard work. So this is the booklet right in there. It's kind of thick. So this essential Michael Jackson. I sadly, this like really, I've just like literally lost the cover. I just have the CDs in there, but I left the second disc somewhere. I don't really know where the location of my CD, the CD of the second CD of the whole compilation. But this whole compilation is epic for sure. Just like what the record label actually is. This was one of my first CD. Not me buying this CD, but my dad. It was in the mall and he was a fan of Michael Jackson. So into 2015, though, exactly when I was like about 3 to 4 years old, I think 4 years old maybe. Um, Not 2015, 2014. I think when I was 3 years old, I'm still a baby. I'm still a coughing baby with no experience and no little knowledge preferences at all, and choosing up Bowl CDs just like these right here. Some of the Bowl CDs I have. Um, so it's like very standard. No experience on listening to music at all. So this was the first time, so this was the first time I'm experiencing such a greatness of an album, such a greatness of songs, very, very peak. Got Travis Scott with Astro World, okay? I don't want to lose my time for this series right here because my percentage of the phone is already at the 16%, bro. Like, I've been doing this for 48 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, the battery's too low that I had to, that, like, my phone has to turn off the light. So, yeah, I'm just going to charge my phone real quick. I'm back again. So, this is Travis Scott's Astroworld album. This is probably one of the most overrated trap album of all time in my opinion. Not of all time though, but one of them because everybody has been dragging on how good this album actually is. I don't think it kind of suits up the It kind of suits up the standard of it, but it's not really kind of like an album that is not really kind of like being discussed. I want an album that's rarely being discussed, just like Rodeo is rarely being discussed by people because of, but I see the impact of it to the modern trap genre. But this one right here, this one has been on demand. Everybody has been talking about this lately. Very in a while. You know, this album is one of the most being talked album. Um, Considering like it's a rap album genre for sure. As a trap, it's very psychedelic. As ASAP Rocky did, I think ASAP Rocky did a better job at releasing the um 2015 album, 2015, 2016 trap album, I think. But for 2018, I think Travis Scott is a lot better. But for this whole album right here, I think it's good. It's a good as an overall album, but it's overrated. There's some moments that I feel like really dull until listen to this whole album, but it's still a classic album in my opinion. Um, yeah, that's all you can, that's all you meant to say. Now that's what I call 109. All right. What order are we in already? 50, 51, 54. So 55 order right here. And that's what I call music 109. Not really into now. That's what I call music again. Like in a very long time, I would have never really given myself to listen to now. That's what I call music. I used to be a very big and hardcore fan of one on now. That's what I call music 109. Especially when my parents um bought me this album regularly on my birthday for sure. On my birthday, as always, I was really geeked out and hyped back then, but now, ah, it's not good in my opinion. It's just like all bunch of not uniball, very trending tracks on the UK, blah 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 blah, all types like that. I don't really give any chance, any specific time to listen to it again. I would never. If anybody tells me to listen to this again, I would never. But this is one of their better, not just what I call music, in my opinion, one of the better in the modern era, especially for disc two. Some tracks are good, but it's not really kind of like uh, usual to combine it with another tracks that I can consider bad, you know. So yeah, that's it. This is not a good compilation. Pharrell Williams in my mind. Yeah, this is a legendary album. Everybody doesn't talk about this. No one talks about this, but I feel like this album right here really feel we can really feel like the exact moment where Pharrell really worked on his stuff on his own, especially when singing, rapping, and stuff like that. His beats are so infectious, angelic, incredible, and iconic. Very unusual sounding songs on here, but yeah, I really do give a shout out to Pharrell Williams for releasing this album. I don't know why, but critics are just so mean about this whole album. But I saw the user scores on AOD. It kind of grows up to some fans. It makes some fans more attracted to this whole entire album overall. That it has a score of 78 out of 100 on AOD. I really do respect AOD users a lot more higher than it is compared to the Rachel Music score for this album right here. But this album is indeed very good. In my opinion, I think it's almost a perfect 10. It's almost a perfect 10. You have to give this one a listen. So there it is, the 56th order. Gonna be so fast, you know. Torch B.I.G. Life After Death. I just got this one from my for my dad because I got into the first rank in school. So yeah, this is just like the present that uh he can give to me. Notorious B.I.G. Left After Death got the original classic parental advisory sticker right in there. So this is in another Fat Boy jewel case, but with a little bit of a different style. It's a Fat Boy jewel case with a classic, not a classic, but a pristine jewel jewel case glass. You know, this is the thing. I really do like this whole album overall. So 57, 58, I got the bootleg version of Tame Impala Cairns. I got this one in the same store as I bought the other, you know, like bootleg CDs that I got right in there in front of my speakers. My favorite from Tame Impala for sure. So that's 58th. 59, I got Deceiver 1.8, Minecraft Volume Alpha. This is a legendary album and possibly one of the um, worst I've ever had in a physical copy just because of how simple it actually proceeds to be. The whole album is fire in my opinion too. Yeah, the whole album is fire in my opinion. But the thing that I would really complain to the physical media is just like the CD copy of it. It's not a really kind of like something conceptual, something that really attracts me, especially for Minecraft. Minecraft needs to have a lot more visualization, but this one doesn't have a booklet, and it really just like makes this CD stick onto this a lot more better on the CD. CD case of Medion than this. It's a gatefold. You can continually go on to just like continue from the left and right like this, and but unless this one's not. So 60, 61, yeah, 61, right? No. So this one, I think this one is 59. Yo, I just genuinely forgot. Yeah, so this is the 60th um Order, 666 Mafia with the Underground, Volume 1, 1991 to 1994. This band right here really influenced the um, creation of funk in the modern era, especially for the 2020 to 2022 not funk, not that Brazilian um, wacky songs like that. Really doesn't have the kind of like Memphis rap samples on it. So yeah, this right here is just like the core of funk era, pretty much it. So 60, 61, I got Crystal Castles, my favorite from Crystal Castle for sure. This is their debut album. I have it on a bootleg CD. 61, 62, I got the Uppercuts, Ellen Briggs and Friends, including this song by Stardust themselves with Ellen Briggs, Thomas Bangalter, and Benjamin Diamond. Music sounds better with you. So if you're new here in the channel, I'm really big fan of Ellen Briggs. I'm really big fan of any French touch musician in existence. Overall, this album is a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Very classic. From start to finish, it's good. I have the complete edition of Hurry Up Tomorrow. So, 61, 62, 62, 63, 63 Order for sure. This is one of my all-time favorite from the weekend for sure. The first disc, I got the first disc and also the second disc, which fell out of the CD case. I got this one new actually, and worth of price too, alongside with a very thick booklet. 64, I got Drake Thank Me Later, the Indonesian version because I'm from Indonesia. Um, yeah, mediocre album. That's it. Pink Floyd The Wall, 65 Order. Not my favorite from Pink Floyd. It's kind of overrated in my opinion, but it's actually a pretty good album with the glossy booklet. Look at how glossy the booklet actually is. The two discs on this, two CDs. 66, I got George Michael, Listen Without Prejudice, Volume 1. I got this one in the thrift shop, and very cheap version of it that has some kind of like leftover mold. No, not a mold, but like some smudge on it. Some smudge on the booklet. Not really, like everybody's been saying that this is, or maybe like critics on Apple Music says this one is probably like one of the best album of all time, but it turns out that it's not. Older is better than this. Father, is it Father? I don't know what album actually called, but it is one of his first album. I think his first solo album is even better than this. Um, yeah, Tyler the Creator with Call Me If You Get Lost. The seventh edition. No, that's not actually trendy. That's not cool. Seventh edition, seventh order of the discs that I have. So it's just like basically one of the most disappointing one I've had though, but it is what it is. It comes up with this very protective kind of like a CD shelf like this shield, whatever you want to call it. My English is not really good. 68, I got SZA with SOS. Kind of overrated in my opinion though, but Her first album is indeed very good. I really turn this on. I rarely do give this one on a listen. I've never really kind of given this album a listen overall. The Cure Disintegration, one of the most perfect album I've heard, and possibly one of the best album of all time. The Cure Disintegration, really atmospheric, nostalgic and rainy, some kind of like an tragic album too, depressive. I like every single one of the songs in here. Like every single song is just like straight up masterpiece confession, just like all confession from Robert Smith about him just falling down, deteriorating, disintegrating um, to pieces after his mic just literally deliberately left him like that. So yeah, this album right here is a masterpiece. He really got the feeling on his voice. The tone of the voice were really good. The production, the atmospheric and ethereal production of this whole entire album is masterpiece in my opinion. I think my I think my cell phone can't handle me recording an hour video. Elvis Presley, Golden Collections, got Gorillaz with a self-titled. I'm not gonna show it very in depth on it. Moby Play, yeah, possibly one of the most recognizable classic electronic down tempo trip hop album with some kind of like rock influence on it. Martin Garrix's Collection, Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator, OK Computer by Radiohead. These are all just coming from original copy of the CD. So this is bootleg, another bootleg again, the Marshall Mathers LP. This one is my favorite Eminem album of all time, in my opinion, until right now. The Eminem Show, my second favorite too. This is the expanded edition. Another great Eminem album, the Slim Shady LP. This is the expanded edition too. Two CDs from both of the album. Oh my god, I'm sick and tired of it. Gorillaz, Cracker Island, one of the more underappreciated Gorillaz project ever. I think this album is actually kind of good. Yeah, it's actually very good, very good. But people kept saying that this album right here is like really disappointing to their ears, considering like all the singles that they released is all good. It's all sounding very good and consistent. How you say, like infallible as a whole production of just what Anthony Fantano thought about before listening to this whole entire album being mediocre. But this album is not mediocre, guys. I promise to you, you should listen to this one. It indeed will satisfy you. Don't listen to like people just hating on the album, but the whole album is good in my opinion. Damn, damn, huh? Damn by Kendrick Lamar. Yes, this is very minimalistic. The Top Dog Entertainment logo right in there. I love the CD case in this one, and also the booklet too. I really do love it. One of my favorite cover of all time though. Very good. My controversial opinion, I think the album cover is very good. Yeah, worth the listen album too. Relapse Refill by Eminem, man. Oh hell yeah, this is the bootleg version again. I got like pretty much the majority of my Eminem collections in bootleg version. If I have a bootleg version, I always say it. So if I don't have any bootleg versions of it, I will not say anything about it. It's just complete original, okay? So yeah, this album is very underrated. Yeah, in the 2000s, after his downfall, of his what's his name? What's the name of the album again? Encore, after his career falling down a little bit slightly after the release of Encore being very negative from all the people, he decided to give another chance, another whirl, another cycle again to release another album after his relapse and rehab over the drugs that he's been using. And he really now has built different on this album right here. His voice is a lot more matured, and some kind of like some funny cringy vocals on it that it's not that really kind of annoying in my opinion. It really does give an influence to rappers now give out random sounds to their songs, especially for this album right here. I think this is one of the first rappers to give out weird sounds, weird voices, vocal tone on their performances of an album, on the performance of the album. So yeah, Relapse Reveal, very underrated. You should listen to it after these types of CD. Now, man, this the time. All right, this the time. The CD that have no cases, so I'm not gonna explain it in depth. I'm just gonna show y'all the CDs with no cases in here. Um, Alpha 5, Demi Lovato with the Demi album, House self-titled. The second disc probably of the Essential album, the Essential of Michael Jackson that I showed you. Now 86. Sorry for my cable. It's pretty annoying. Now 89. The disc 2 of it. This is not in a consecutive order. I swear. All right, keep calm and chill out. CD1. Oh my God, I really hate now, like insanely, very hate, and considering that I almost, in the majority of the length of the video, the duration of the video, always express a hatred towards now. But you know, now it's welcome music. You just have to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't want to listen to your stuff. I just don't want to meddle about your affairs, anything like that. Um, by the way, just keep continuing. Ultra Dance 2014. Um, yeah, that's what I call 30 years. This is a bunch of compilation of Indonesian singers, local Indonesian singers. Ponky Barata meets the Stands. CD1, this is a trance, pure Cream Future trance 2008 album. I think this one's pretty good. It's an overall electronic album that I primarily listened to this one, or initially listened to this one, and thought it was actually pretty bad and boring to listen to this whole album. But after I listened to majority, I started to give myself a lot more of not a focused electronic album, but more of the kind of like feeling and atmospheric production of it. I actually do understand how this record really works to me. So got this. Now that's what I call Music 96. This is the second disc, and this is the first disc. Adele compilation. I think this one is like sort of like a soundtrack for a Skyfall movie. Very good compilation of Adele. She's a really good singer. VIP DJ, the first disc, and I got the original copy of the first disc, the Essential Michael Jackson. Maroon 5. This is actually a Maroon 5 compilation. CD2 Summer Party. My mom bought this one exactly at my fourth birthday in December. When I was performing a certain choir in church. So yeah, she gave me this one. I'm really glad that I still have this precious gift that she gave to me. She really did understand about me until right now. She really does. My mom's lovely. Now there's what I call Music 86. This is the second disc. This is a Swedish House Mafia Until Now album. I still do really like this album. Really like it. I'm not dragging about Swedish House Mafia, but I really do still listen to this album. I come every single year to just listen to this and revisit this album, even though they have got so much uncountable amount of scratches in there. But it is what it is. It is a very good album. Not particularly an album, but a live album. Exactly. Ada band. So this is a local Indonesian band that I always used to give a listen to back then when I was about 2 to 3 years old. Mom introduced me to that, and I got this one from Church's Chicken, or maybe in my country it's called Texas Chicken. As an overall album, it's pretty good until right now. Another CD, EDM Anthems 2014, CD02. Yeah, the second disc. Now that's what I call 61. So this is the American version of it. Christmas Magic. This is a Christmas album. This is the first disc of the EDM Anthems. Now 87, the second disc. The first disc of Now 85. I do actually like this though. Yeah, this one's actually pretty good compilation of a Now album. First disc of Now 85. Now that's what I call 30 years. This is my kind of like in my middle of the thousands, my mom's era of listening to the music on the radio and stuff. This is all being compiled in this one exact compilation. And also Zion Mind of Mine. I haven't given a listen to this album since I actually bought it back then. I was actually in a fan. I was actually a fan of Zayn. I thought this album was actually pretty good, pretty well received album overall, but not really kind of like the album that I would really stand out for most of the time. After that, I got a Katy Perry Prism. This is actually three. Katy Perry Prism. Uh, yeah. Even though I'm not a Katy Perry fan, though Katy Perry Prism. I don't remember how exactly it sounds like actually, but in my opinion, it's a kind of mediocre. My feeling. This is how you do actually one of It's actually pretty good song. These two right here are actually Michael Jackson compilation CD. Yeah, Michael Jackson compilation CD. In fact, one of them is actually the Chinese imported version of Scream, which was actually this one right here. Like it looks so aesthetic. Like that gold, I really love that. And this one right here is so aesthetic too, man. Like, oh, immediately, bro. Look at that. Damn, that looks good. All right, so got another CD to have with no cases. So fresh, summer hits of 2015. My era, 2010. This is my era of the now that's what I call 30 years. 85 disc 2 of now that's what I call music 85. Bruno Mars Unorthodox Jukebox. I grew up listening to Bruno Mars album, especially his first album, major album called Do Ups and Hooligans. I actually sat on a CD as I could remember of it, so that's what I regret that I had set on the CD. Um, that made it broken, unless it's not as this fit right here. It has some scratches on it, but it can be it can be easily put and turned on my CD speaker, CD tape right there. I'm really good that I get a very good CD tape, high quality of it. Unorthodox Jukebox, you should listen to this album. Acoustic of Justin Bieber. I have nothing to say about this. This is not a CD, but this is a DVD of King of Kings. I would respectfully talk about Christianity, religion, or anything like that. I would um, genuinely want to not discover, but talk about Christianity more often on my YouTube channel because it's a very good one. It's very underrated to talk about it because I was born Christian. Until right now, I'm a really religious person. I'm always close to God, and talking about this one is very precious. A lot more in depth into it is probably my favorite thing to do to just like this discuss about anything on Christianity, especially for Jesus and um Tritungo. How you gonna say it? Like three one God, like the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Those three. I would be very interested to talk about that. Yeah, not just what I call music 95. Disc 2, another so fresh. This is the summer hits of 2016. The previous one was at 2015. Was in 2015. Not just what I call music 56. Have no words to describe that. Not just what I call music 93. Disc 2 and another Cream CD disc 2. I cannot find any of the third disc. This is actually like 3 discs album. It was actually pretty good. All right, I'm gonna show you like a bunch of inside of this bag. Boney M greatest hits. Another Soda Music 99. Another Soda Music 95 disc 1. Another So Fresh 2016. I hate compilations like this, full of just like top charting tracks. Especially this one, Keep Calm and Chill Out. City 2 got One Love, David Guetta, Sia. This is acting. Stories by Avicii. Yeah, basically all of that. This is another CD back that I have. Is there any CD in there? Okay, let's just start it off. I got Dash Berlin. I genuinely forget that this guy actually existed. He created trance music that was kind of uninspiring in my opinion. So, but some tracks are actually pretty good from him, as I remembered. I never really come across to listen to this album again in my life. That's really United Destination 4. So, is there any trilogy to this? United Destination 1, 2, 3? I don't know about that, but I just genuinely, my mom just genuinely wanted to like buy this for me. It's a continuous live, not a live album. Is it a live? I don't know. I don't even know. The album is not known by everybody. Now that's what I call Music 93. This is the first disc of it. I've already showed you the second disc. I think so. Yeah, this is the second disc of it. I like the design of the second disc a lot more than the first volume, in my opinion. This is actually kind of corny. Yeah, and also got the other one. Yeah, the other one. The last CDs that I have to show you guys right now. So, King of Kings, another one again. This is the DVD format. Okay, State of Trance 2007 by Armin van Buuren. Not really my cup of tea of an electronic album. Justin Bieber Purpose. The first disc of the now 89. This is the other CD for the Michael Jackson compilation. Um, yeah, it just incorporates like lots of stuffs and remixes, mashups from the immortal version of Michael. Um, this is the now that's what I call Music 94, the second disc. I am not able to find the first disc of this album right here, or maybe I've just showed it, but I completely forgot about it. But it's okay. Now 57, I really hate to say that I had now Charlie Puth, one of the worst albums I've ever heard in my life. Sad. This CD right here is actually kind of um really different from the original cover because this is actually Sad's second album called True Color, and I expected something very colorful, but it's actually a sort of wood, a wood pointing up from the top. So it's just like generally making it to the up to the cover of the CD. Now that's what I call Music 63. 997, the second disc. Tiesto Club Live Volume 4, the New York City Live is not that good. Not that good record from Coldplay too, in my opinion. Oh, okay. I guess I'm wrong. I have the 94 disc one too. Or his of 2016. Um, Now 101. VIP DJ, the second disc. Oh my god, I had to say this. Now 58, and the last CD that I want to show you guys is actually all now albums. Oh my god. But it is okay. It's for the sake of the CD collection that I want to show you guys. Now that's what I call Music 90 because I have a lot more eclectic music taste. Rather than this, I've known lots of albums. I've rated it on my on my albumoftheyear.org website, Retro Music. I've saved lots of Yuno balls. Really, really rare album that you could not possibly listen to. Like, it's all hidden gem. This is just like basic stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, very uninspiring stuff, but it is okay. I still appreciate now. That's what I call music. This is 99, and these are the 90. Oh, fell down. I'm glad. I just had to pick it with my feet. Um, disc 2 and disc 1. So yeah, that's it. Those are my CD collections. It's been almost like 80 minutes I've been doing this. Just like gibberishing about lots of stuff, whether it's my opinion or the history on why I got into these albums right here. So yeah. Oh, I almost forgot that. I want to tell you something. My first ever CD that my mama has ever bought, or maybe like get into my CD collection, is actually this album right here, Boney M, The Greatest Hits. This is actually a very usual album. I love Boney M until right now. They're iconic. So yeah. That's it for today's video. Hope you enjoy my conversation with y'all, even it's not directly um getting to social life, because I'm really socially awkward in my opinion. Talking with other people is just like really kind of like not my cup of tea. It's generally um feel more comfortable if I talk to myself, or if I, or maybe if I made this type of video right here, kind of tactless, to do a lot more communications with people. Even debating, I'm not really into it. I don't believe in what potential, what um am I gonna get to the reactions of the public's eyes, public's ears, um pertaining from what I have said. So yeah, those are just basically my CDs. I'm gonna do another series of CD collection about a couple years after this video have been posted. So yeah, hope you stay tuned on my channel. Don't ever leave and unsubscribe me. But if you just don't want to subscribe to me, don't want to turn on the notifications, I don't care. I just really don't care about it. It's up to you. It's up to your preferences. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching from the to the end until the end. So yeah, farewell. Adios.